Everybody subscribe to Taekwondo.
Sick, man. What's up, guys? So we're back with another vlog style video. Right now we're gonna go pick up a free PC case that somebody listed on Facebook Marketplace. And we're gonna use that as a starter point to kind of show you guys how to list PCs. So if you wanna list your own computer for sale, if you wanna list a bunch of computers for sale, if you wanna get into building computers as a job. Guys, like 25 minutes away, total round trip, so it's going to be a pretty cheap gas wise. It'll be pretty cheap to go and get the computer. It's not going to, or computer case. Let's go and get it. I think I got lucky pulling into this street, which is like super uncommon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, have a good night. All right, so here's the case. Nothing too crazy. Hopefully it's tempered glass. Let's see. Yep, tempered glass, still has this peel, which is actually great for a customer. You know, they get the ability to peel it off. Has kind of this cool geometric pattern on the front. I was actually wondering if it was gonna be just mesh or it was gonna actually have that design, but it looks like it's just a filter. So if you didn't like it, just take it off. I'm sure you could probably make another filter too, but I think it actually looks pretty cool, especially for like a super budget PC. He didn't include the fan, it looks like. Yeah, there's no fan, so we'll have to put our own fans in there. And then there is no basement cover, but what they did is they made a basement shroud and then they did this design on the glass so it kind of hides the underside. I've seen that a few times. Fantex makes a line called Metallic Gear that also does that. Backside, a little dent here, nothing too bad, but yeah, pretty much a good used PC case. All right, guys, I decided we're gonna just rip this off. I don't think it looks good anymore. I think there's one on the inside too. I can see there's like some hazing going on. So this is what we're gonna use. The board I picked up a couple episodes ago. This is the B350, updated to support the ARC card, so it has the rebar enabled. I was gonna try, I thought about putting the ARC card in there, but as we discussed in the past, I don't really wanna sell an ARC system to a new user, and this is gonna be a budget PC, so I'm just gonna keep that in mind. So instead, we're gonna use this Asus Strix. This is only a 1060. This is probably one of the best models out there. I think it looks pretty good with the case. It's got that kind of geometric style, I don't know, look that'll go with the front here. So yeah, we're gonna keep this really simple. I wanna aim for like around $250 to $300 with Windows included and activated. So that's the idea. All right, guys, it was getting hot in here, so I removed a layer of clothing. I just want to go over the rest of the parts too. So I got these 4 RGB fans. The way we're going to do this is traditionally case companies always put 3 up front, which I don't know, just kind of looks weird when there's no other RGB. So what I'm going to do with this is do 1 here and 1 here and 2 in the front. That way there's like a balance of RGB. You got the RGB memory. And then this power supply is also an RGB power supply. It's a 500 watt. I don't know how much you're gonna see going through the bottom. Probably take this mesh off, just it's so unnecessary. And then we have a 250 gig Samsung 860 EVO and a 3 terabyte Toshiba 7200 RPM drive. Yeah, so we're gonna throw this together really quick and do like a time lapse kind of thing. So you ready? Let's go. All right, this is gonna be first boot for you and me. There is an OS already installed. I will be putting a new fresh OS on there, but here's what it looks like. See the RGB shining through. I actually really kind of dig this for a cheap PC. Got a post. We knew it was going to post. All of this hardware has been tested before. I do like this. You really don't see anything in the basement, which is pretty cool. This case is actually not for sale anymore, and because of the back being so tight, I really wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But considering it's a free case that I just picked up, it's like really not a bad deal. The total of everything in this computer is around $170. So if I sell it for around $250 to $300, I make a little bit of profit, and somebody will end up with a pretty nice PC. Who is Santana? Oh, and if you're wondering how the RGB works, I did wire it to the reset button. So all you have to do is hit reset and you get different colors. So anytime you guys build a PC for a customer or for somebody, the best way to do it is to have everything pre-installed. For an example, Steam, Epic, MSI Afterburner, I'm gonna have all of that installed. I'm also gonna do all the chipset, drivers, AMD, everything that you need to do on this board is gonna be installed, except for like Norton 360. So all of this, a few easy things too, like this, I know that this hard drive has some games on it and I need to format it, but it's good to keep a partition and also have it so, like, for an example, Steam automatically downloads to the storage drive. That way you never get a question in the future about my drive, you know, my 250 gig drive being completely full. It's just a little trick I've learned over time to make the customer happy. For the next part of this deal, we're gonna pick one thing in here that we're gonna use as a marketing trick, which will be the Asus ROG 1060, and we're gonna set our background as the Asus ROG logo so that we can take a cool photo in front of this setup here. And I'm gonna show you guys that in a minute. So having a little bit of background is pretty nice. Everyone likes good RGB, so we're gonna change this to RGB, and we'll have a perfect spot here to do a nice money shot of this computer. It's also a good idea to take the glass off a lot of times for computer pics, and always have a couple of them on rainbow so that they know that the fans are rainbow and not just static colors. And then you can cycle through the other images to get your like red, your blue, etc. And yeah, so let's take a few pictures. Pro tip when you're doing these pictures, it's good to take a lot of downward angled pictures, as it makes the computer look more like larger than life kind of deal. Now we're gonna take off this glass just so people can get a better idea of what the internals look like, and have a few photos of the glass on and off. So now we can switch it to a different color, like maybe purple. And we'll do some shots of the GPU, as the GPU is always important. Shots of the memory, especially if it's RGB, and shots of the cables. But yeah, so now, look at that. MSI changed our background without us asking. That is something else. So when I started this, I was trying to really see where I left off in my last video, and I figured, let's just start from scratch. Honestly, the best way to sell a computer, sadly to this day, in the United States is still Facebook Marketplace. There are websites like jawa.gg. This website is really good too. It's a little different. You will have to like sign up, make an account, and start posting here. And I do suggest anyone who is going to get into flipping PCs to start looking at this website and other websites like Offerup, like Craigslist. If you're overseas, they have stuff like Gumtree, all of those kind of similar websites, Mercari, etc. So there's a few things about Facebook in general. If you're selling a gaming PC, any of the PCs that are like this, $2,200, a lot of times they don't sell. Most of the people will end up taking them down. The sweet spot for selling a PC is right around $600. This person probably knows what they're doing and does this often. If I was to look at their seller page, you're most likely going to see, yeah, there's another one here as well. So they're just getting started, and they did pretty good at this build. It's very clean. They are presenting all the pictures nice. So my point is, if you're going to sell a high-end PC and you're individually just selling it, like to get rid of it, and you're not going to be a seller on Facebook or a seller of PCs in general, part it out. Take it apart, sell the GPU, sell the motherboard and CPU as a combo. People will pay more money for that kind of stuff, and it's easier to sell. It just takes a little bit longer. All right, so I want to start with the price breakdown here. So this is the total cost of the PC that we just built a couple minutes ago, and it's $154. Really good deal. Actually, awesome price to performance at that price. There's a few things here I did with this breakdown. I have the GPU at 30, the RAM 25, motherboard combo. I put this as rare. Typically, something like that combo would be more like $80 to $90. The other rare thing is the PC case being free. You can find free PC cases, and there are certainly a ton of cheap PC cases that are in that $40 to $50 range on Newegg, like the DIY or DYI series, I believe it's called. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. The sell price, I want to get $255, $100. Basically, when I build a PC for somebody, I charge $100. So at least making $100 on a PC that you're gonna flip is a good idea. I will list it for $270. So there's haggle room. A lot of times the customer will offer you a little bit less, and then you can, meet in the middle, which $255 or even $250 would make me completely happy. Next up is really important, being very clear with your listing. You want everything laid out. For an example here, I have a newly assembled, and assembled is important because if you write new gaming PC, then you're pretty much lying to the customer. Yeah, I wrote this would make a great starter PC for a kid or an adult. This PC consists of used, tested, and new hardware to keep the cost down. It will 1080p medium high settings. Oh, I gotta fix that there. It will game. That's it. At 1080p medium high settings in most titles. So that's pretty good. Ask for benchmarks for a specific game, and I will be happy to get you that information. I went down to list all the parts, and also I am including the Windows 10 or 11 Pro, whatever they prefer, in the purchase of this system. All right, so the first thing you guys want to do is go to create new listing. Now, obviously the phone's going to be a little bit different, but it's pretty similar across the board. So go to item for sale, add new photos, which you want to start with your photos. I have put these on the desktop under, let's see, folder 3, PC pics. And then here is really important. You want to put the best picture first. So we're going to look at kind of across the board, which one is the most striking, even from this distance, this small area, because this is what you're going to have the customer see. So I would say that this one is probably the best, and then in order, we'll just kind of go through, and you can list up to 10 different ones. All right, so I picked the 10 best in my opinion. I'm doing this in real time, and I'm also a little bit sick, so pardon my voice being a little scratchy. So we're going to list this as a Ryzen. Actually, let's do all caps. Ryzen 5 / GTX. Actually, let's do Ryzen 5 Asus Strix 1060 gaming PC. And we're gonna do $270. I feel like that's a fair asking price. I'm gonna make sure we go down to electronics, and then there's all these subcategories: computers, and then computer components, desktop computers. Conditioned, used like new. Description, we're gonna copy and paste the description I had put in the other tab here, this one right here, and let's see how it looks. Okay, looks okay. Let's add some professionalism. We'll do this kind of thing here. Processor type, we're gonna list that. We'll do, let's see, we'll do 1600, we'll list it. RAM capacity is 16, hard drive capacity. In this one, I typically just put the entire total of storage. So you have 3 terabytes plus the 250. So we'll say 3,250. List as single item. Yep. Product tag, SKU. You can ignore most of this stuff. Next. And then this is where it gets pretty crazy. If you're new to the marketplace, you have to list in groups. Like, this is where a lot of people will see your stuff. As you can see here, like Needham Marketplace has 30K, Foxborough 28K. So I'm gonna pick, I believe I can pick up to 21 right now. I'm gonna pick most of the places I know often buys my stuff. People will come from like these groups to pretty much purchase everything that I post here. I'm at my limitation. I cannot post. I cannot put any more, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, that's my limitation. So there it is. It's published. And yeah, and now we wait for somebody to message us. So by the end of the first day, I had nearly 100 messages on this computer. So I just picked somebody who I thought looked reliable and went with them because this was getting crazy. All right, guys, I told him to meet us at a local Dunkin' Donuts. It's actually the work hour for me. I'm on my lunch break. So trying to do two things at once here. And he said I can film, so that's pretty cool. Nice car. Yeah.
You, man.
You too. Yeah, so that's a PC.
Cool.
All right, how much do you think I paid for this computer?
You paid for it?
Yeah, like how much do you think it cost me to build it?
$150.
Dude, right on the money. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm actually gonna do 200 flat for it if that's cool. Does that work for you?
Perfect.
All right, sweet, man. Yeah, just say, I don't know.
Everybody subscribe to Taekwondo.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. So that dude was awesome. He let me film. It was a little awkward for me because I don't usually ask people. You know, I haven't really been filming anyone just yet on this channel. I'll probably do more of this kind of like vlog style PC hunt content. Yeah, anyways, like he was a good example of somebody, like a good pick. I had all those people to pick from, and I went through a lot of them. I kind of avoided people that had like children, for example, because I don't really like giving PCs to people who I know, you know, they might end up with problems or have a million questions. And so you almost have to kind of pick and choose depending on the price point of the computer, who you're going to sell to. It isn't a good idea to sell to somebody who's never used a computer if you don't want to help them every step of the way. If you're gonna help them, then by all means, but you don't want to just kind of leave them high and dry with a device that they have no idea what they're doing. And that's part of the seller deal. You have to actually put some effort into the sale, and sometimes you need to do a little bit of tech support at the end. Anyways, guys, if you liked this video, it was kind of a lot of work. I know it doesn't look like a lot when you're just watching an edit, but it took a while to do all this. And yeah, if I just drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video just like this.